Okay, so I got to this article that I found from the Washington Examiner. Apparently, they're no more friendly to the left than I am on this one. It's very interesting. According to NPR, anti-racist activists distraught that Boston elected an Asian woman as a mayor. Now, apparently, the city of Boston, Massachusetts, scored a twofer this year when it elected Michelle Wu as mayor. She's apparently the first woman in the city's history that was elected to the office, and she's also the first non-white. So, apparently you'd think this would be a big celebratory moment for the progressives. They finally got like a minority into an office of power for like one of America's most well-known cities. And apparently it's not enough. Apparently it's not good enough that an Asian woman got the job over three black candidates. My mind is boggling. It truly is. I don't know. I guess maybe because she's not trans or something. But as they said, real racial equality won't be achieved until a black person takes the job, because apparently Asians don't count as a minority. And it's really disconcerting. So apparently Michelle Wu took 33.4% of the vote, so she got roughly a third of it, as opposed to the runner-up, Anessa Abassi George, who clocked in at 22.5, so almost a quarter of the vote there. And this self-described artist and civil rights activist, Danny Rivera, said, "I got home and I cried. I cried my eyes out because I don't know the next time we'll see a black mayor in our city." And he's like, "I believe it is a lived experience that matters most, and what separates the former acting mayor Kim Janey from every other candidate. That's all super powerful, and I thought we missed the moment." Okay, I don't know the story behind Boston having an acting mayor who is black and probably female, so I don't get it. I mean, I don't fucking get it. Jesus, I'm getting a lot of flybys. This is a busy part of space. And then apparently they had the Democratic Massachusetts state representative Mary St. Fleur came in and said, "For those of us born in Boston and raised and lived through some of the darker days, the fact that we blinked at this moment is sadness. At what point will the city in Boston will we be able to vote? And I'm going to be very clear here, for a black person in that corner." Oh, just Jesus fucking Christ. The progressives are so obsessed with race that apparently anybody who is not white doesn't fit the bill. Apparently, Boston must have an elected black mayor before they're gonna, you know, before they're gonna be happy. A lot of the men and women that are quoted by NPR apparently missed their moment in time of racial reckoning because it elected an Asian American, not an African American. And and it's really just weird, because you'd think that they would be so uber fucking happy about it, but they're not. Apparently they're not gonna be happy, and they're like gonna have it's like, we only get a racial reckoning when we got a black person in office. I see this kind of stuff and it concerns me. Why does it concern me? Because this isn't about, you know, defeating white supremacy. This is clearly an agenda of black supremacy. Like, I honestly don't think that any of these people are going to be happy until every single position of power is held by black people and they have dominance in this country. Like, they're not going to be happy until they've done unto their evil white oppressors, um, until, yeah, see, I'm just, I can't even really think straight when it comes to all that. You know, they wanted equality. We said, all right, yeah, we've done badly by you in the past, and, all right, sure, we'll treat you like you're human. They said, not good enough. And then the civil rights movement came around, and I've had some debates and some YouTube comments about that as well. And it's like, okay, all right. I said, all right, well, we hear you, we'll give you what you want, we'll try it out. So, they wanted freedom because they felt they weren't treated equally. I said, okay, well, you got that. We had a whole fucking civil war over it. And then they said, you know what, that's not good enough. We want equal rights. And we said, okay. So we had a whole civil rights movement about that too. And now it's basically getting to the point where it's like, that's not good enough either. We want every position of power in this country to be held by a black person. And it's, kind of at the point where people are kind of starting to raise eyebrows at this. Because that's really to me what it kind of boils down to. Is that, they're not going to be happy until they get what they want. We've given them what they want up to this point, and it's like now they're trying to see how much they can get away with. At some point, we're going to have to stand up to them and say no. It's like a child. A child is going to push the limits until they learn where those limits are. And the only way you're going to actually define those limits is when you tell them no. But if we keep saying, all right, you can have it, all right, you can have it, they're going to keep pushing until they learn where those limits are. And, like a child, they're going to cry, they're going to pitch a fit tantrum. We've seen it with all the BLM riots and all this other stuff. And, they're going to riot, they're going to destroy property, we're going to have more people. And, you're going to end up with more cases like the Rittenhouse trial. It's going to be a whole other sham down there. Like, Kyle went out there and defended himself. He went out there and he specifically said, no, this is not okay. And when they tried to pitch a fit and kill him in a tantrum, he defended himself and said, no, you don't get that kind of sovereignty over my life. And now they're pitching a fit about that as well. It's like you're not allowed to say no. We demand the right to riot and pitch tantrums and kill people. And when you look at it like that, you look at it in the lens of this, the whole thing is just, it's the same message that, we've been trying to tell people over the last couple of years. These people are nothing but adult children who've never been told no in their lives. They've never learned where the limits are. And it's I think it's a topic for a longer rant video. It's living in a Veruca Salt society. I'll get on to that another time. But I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I've been told I need to try out shorter videos. So it's what I'm going to try and do ahead now. I've got like a whole backlog of like smaller articles I'm going to get into. So we're going to try out this smaller thing and see how well it works. I know I'm kind of coughing a bit. It's a learning process for me. I'm still new to this whole thing. So I'll see y'all in the next video. And, guys, set some limits. Learn to tell people no. Jesus.